Moira. I'm one of the freelance instructors that supports the health programmes within Fife Sport and Leisure Trust. And today I'm going to do a 30-minute taster of what would be our level 2 classes. Now our level 2 health classes are for people who need a bit of support with activity and who tend to use a mobility aid either inside or outside. There's no equipment required for this, but I would ask that you're wearing your outdoor shoes, good supportive footwear, certainly not your slippers. I have brought equipment, but it's not essential for this class. I've got a shopping bag that I use as a slidey sheet. I've got a TheraBand that I use for resistance exercises, strength exercises, and I've got bottles of water that I also use for resistance or strength exercises. I have a pillow because some people like to put a pillow in at their back, and if we have time I will use a pillow, demonstrate an exercise that you can do with a cushion. I don't think there's anything else, so I think we can just get started. So you would be coming to the front part of your chair, and we're going to start with a warm-up. So before we get our warm-up right, we've got to get our posture good in the chair. So try to retract your shoulder blades back. They're not braced back, but you've just got that gentle feeling that you've kind of got them engaged. Those shoulder blades are trying to meet a wee bit at the back, and that you've got your bottom muscles tense. Again, nothing braced back, but just enough just to lift you from there to there. If it's a struggle to hold yourself there, you might want to put your hands onto the chair just to give yourself that extra lift and that extra wee bit of length between your chest and your pelvis. And then just get started to marching. Just rolling off your toes. Feel the difference between slump, 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 and actually pushing off your toes. And then just get straight into the march, where you drive your elbows back behind. There is always the option of holding on with one hand or holding on with the other, but the aim is to be getting that march going as quickly and almost as fast as you can, because you really are wanting to get your pulse up, get your heart rate up, so you're ready to do the hard bit of the exercise. Good. Just shoulders up to your ears and relax back. Shoulders up to your ears and relax back. Rolling your shoulders round. Now they will creak and grind because we carry a lot of tension in our shoulders, and especially if you are using a walking aid, there's a lot of tension goes down through those arms. So really loosening off. You take one arm back and forwards, and the other arm back and forwards. And keeping that height in the chair, you've got your elbows in at your side, and just bring your elbows back and let go. Again, just loosening or mobilising that top half of your back, the bit in between your shoulder blades. So you're bringing it from there to there. You're feeling that you're working between your shoulder blades. Good. And then just keeping that marching going. Pushing off your toes. And stop. Reaching down towards the floor and back up. We're not necessarily going to touch the floor with this one. Remember, it's a warm-up, and we really are just looking to open out your ribs a bit. Just feeling like you're opening out those ribs so that you can take a deeper breath. And just once more to each side. And we'll get back to the marching. want to do with this one is we're just trying to loosen off your knees a bit, so you're taking your foot as far forward as you can and trying to get your foot back behind. So you're taking your leg forwards and back. And this is where, if you have a leg that's a bit weaker than the other one, and it doesn't want to come forwards in particular, and back, and forwards, and back, you might want to take a hold of your slidey sheet, put it under your foot, and just using the slidey sheet to help you move that leg, especially the bending. This one it's especially the bending back, because you need that for getting up to stand. If you don't need the slidey sheet, you can put it aside and just do 2 more with each leg and the other leg. And back to your marching again. And stop. Loosening off your hips. Now we are going through this very, very quickly. Under normal circumstances, we would probably spend about 10 minutes on the warm-up, really making sure we've got a whole load of, we wouldn't just be marching all the time, lots of other things that we would do to get you warmed up. And just bringing your arms in, so we'll do it a bit quicker. This would be an alternative to marching. Watching your posture, keeping yourself up nice and tall. And then before we get up to stand, just loosening off our ankles. So it's heel and toe, and it's trying to put your toe just exactly where your heel's been, or your heel where your toe's been. If there was a puddle, there would be hardly any ripple in that puddle. And this just gets rid of that Rice Krispie feeling that you get in your ankles first thing in the morning when you're going up and down the stairs. Just loosens off all round about there. Ready to do the standing ones. Okay, so at the end of the warm-up, you should feel that you've loosened some of the major muscles, and that you've loosened off some of the major joints, and that your heart rate should be up, ready to get started. So we're going to come forwards to stand, and I'm just going to move my chair round just to let you see what this looks like. If your feet are away in front of you like that, then it's huge big effort and really hard to get yourself forwards. So that's where, if you can get your knees a bit further back behind, come forwards in the chair, ready, steady and stand. Legs back to touch the chair, ready, steady, sit yourself down. So it's forwards, legs back, feet tucked underneath you. Once you've got those nose over toes, then you've really got to dig your heels in and drive up. And sit yourself back down. Let's do that once more. So you've got your feet back, nose over toes, and go for it. Up you get. And that's us up into standing position. Now, unfortunately, if I stood at my kitchen sink, you wouldn't actually see my head, so I'm going to use the chair for our standing ones. So you would have walked safely round behind your chair, or you would have walked safely to a table or your kitchen sink. Once you get there, I don't want you, I'm going to turn this round to the side so you can see, I don't want you gripping a hold with your hands on the back of the chair. I want you to come up as tall as you can, and just maybe even just rest in your hand. You know your balance better than I know your balance, but just resting your hands on the chair. Good. We're going to work our back of our muscles now, our hamstring muscle, and you're just going to take your knee back behind you and then down. So you're going to bend that back, knee back. That was a bit Irish. So you're just going to bend back for 3, hold for 3, lower down for 3. Do that one more time. back for 3, hold for 3, down for 3. Then you change legs. So all the time you're working on your balance on your standing leg, but you're working to strengthen your hamstring on your bending leg. And you need these strong hamstrings, strong muscles on your legs to help with your balance, but also to help with getting up from a chair, walking, up and down stairs. So holding and down. While I'm side on, again we're just going to do a squat. So it's bending your knees and letting your bottom go back. Now note that my heels are still well planted on the floor, and then I push up through my feet up to stand. And I'll just show you that another twice. And one more time. The mistake a lot of people make when they're doing that one is they tend to fall forwards, and look, if your knees come too far forwards over your feet, that's when you'll give yourself even more knee pain. So keep your heels down, even if you can just go a little bit, but it's better to do that little bit well, and then you'll get deeper and deeper the more you do. From here, you're just going to come straight up onto your toes and down. Again, you think you might lose my head somewhere in this, but it's coming straight up onto your toes. And we'll just do that another 3 or 4 times. So again, you can have 2 hands on, you can have 1 hand on, or no hands on. You know your balance better than me. But this is all about reaching into that cupboard, reaching onto that shelf at the supermarket. The next one is just pulling your toes up, and you have to be very careful you don't stick your bottom out with this one. So just pulling the toes up and down. Again, 1 hand, 2 hands, or no hands. Helps with balance, helps with that stepping back if you're pushing grandchildren on swings and things, but it just strengthens the front part of your legs. And stop. Now I'm going to stand side on so you can see this next one. You're going to stand with the leg, standing on the leg nearest the chair, and with the other leg you're just taking it out to the side and in. Again, you know whether just stepping is enough for you or just coming out to tap your toes enough for you. But if that's too easy for you, then taking it out and holding for 3 and in for 3. So it's out, try to hold it and in. But for some of you, just to start off with, you might be happy just tapping the toe out. Some of the classes, they tap, they lift, they tap in and down. They tap and they lift, they tap and come down. But what you're aiming to do is that, but without doing that. So it's standing really tall on your standing leg. And of course you can do this with 2 hands on. Just if you were doing it with 2 hands, you might not see what I was doing. Or you would use your kitchen sink or something solid like a table. Okay. From there, you could step to the side and step together, step to the side, step together. And in these days of keeping our distance, sometimes you have to step to the side to step out of the way of people coming towards you. So this is going to be an important movement going forwards, as I say. So you can use the back of the chair, you can use your kitchen sink, and you can step as far away many steps in as you can do. Good. I'm going to move the chair to the side again. Again, if you were doing this at the kitchen sink, you would just be holding on with one hand up onto the toes and just walking on your toes, 2 or 3 steps, heels down. Excuse me as I turn my back on you, turning round, coming up onto your toes, 2 or 3 steps, heels down, turn round, up onto your toes. And if you find that that is just a no-no and that would be too much for you, then you would just go back and finish off with the 2 hands on and just coming straight up onto your toes. But if you can, this is so good for strengthening around your ankles. And down. And likewise, coming onto your heels, pulling your toes up towards you, walking on your heels, toes down, turning into the chair or into the heels down. Okay, and I think that's all the standing ones we need to do. So you would then just come back round and sit safely into the chair, having worked really hard on muscles that we need for walking, stair climbing, stepping to the side, keeping balanced, reaching, all really important. So hopefully you're all back at your chair by now. And first of all, we're going to take just the band and we're going to fish for our foot and then hold the band level with the knee. Now if you don't have a band, what I'm going to ask you to do, similar to the warm-up, but take the leg out and this time hold it for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and lower down. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and lower down. Just so that you're working, as we're going to be doing with the band, working on that big muscle at the front of your leg. So we're going to pull the band into your waist. We only take our leg off about 1 inch. So we go forwards in the chair and we press our leg forward. So it's a leg press rather than a leg lift. And you hold that out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and let go. So your other option is actually to do this without the band rather than the one I showed you. That might be easier to follow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and let go. And once more, band comes into the waist, you fix the band at the waist, you lift your heel up about 1 inch and you press your leg out straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let go. And let's do it with the other leg. Again in the class, we would definitely start off with about 5 or 6 of these and we'll be working up to 10 or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as we said at the start, this is just a taster. So once you get the feeling of these exercises, you can do them throughout the day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So long as you always do your warm-up first. So you can do your warm-up and you can do some of these strength ones while you're just sitting watching television or whatever. 1 more. And the ones that we did in standing, well, you can come up onto your toes while you're waiting for the kettle to boil. You can be doing some side stepping while you're doing the dishes or waiting for your potatoes to boil. So there's lots of, that's why we call them our kitchen sink exercises. Taking your weights for your arms, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to just level there. I'm just going to bring our elbows up and down. So people often ask me why we do upper limb exercises when it's my knees and my legs that are sore. Well, basically, as you can see what we're doing here, we're working our upper body, strengthening our upper body, and that helps with our posture, which in turn helps with our balance. And as we're sitting here working through these exercises, without even realising it, we're working what we call our core muscles, and we're working to help strengthen our back muscles, all which help with our balance and our posture. Hands down by our side. I'm just going to bend our elbows up and down. Again, just about the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and down. 2, 3. And these are our carrying muscles, our bicep muscles. And once you've got the idea of we would have music at our classes, so you can pop some music on and do these exercises to music once you've got a handle on what the exercises are. So the next time, we'll do just with one hand, it gets a bit more complicated. We're going to bend our arm up, we're going to turn round so that our palm is facing outwards, and then we push up. Let it come down, turn round and back up, and we'll just do another 2 of those. So it's up, turn round, push up, come down, turn round, let go. Did I say 2? 1 more for luck. Not very good at counting and talking at the same time. So let's do just 3 on the other side. And some of our people that come to our classes, and some of you sitting at home today, might have some breathing problems. And if that's the case, we would encourage you to breathe out when you're doing the hard part of the exercise. So if we do this together with 2 hands, we would get you to come up, turn round and blow out as you pushed your hands up and let go. So the breath in, turn round and blow out as your hands come up. Good. Another favourite of mine, we did this in the warm-up but without the band. Just pop the band over in front of your thighs. Just place your hands in underneath. Take the band apart and then pull the band back and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let go. So the difference when you're doing it as a strength exercise, you're holding it for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let go. And again, we'll do just 1 more. But in a normal class, we would be working up to doing about 10 repetitions of these. So that's something for you to think about at home. I'm going to turn the chair round to the side, just so that you can see what I'm doing. We're nearly finished. And this time I'm bringing the cushion and popping my feet just in front of me a wee bitty, like so. So we're going to be, next section, just working on our backs a wee bitty more. So I want you just to slide the cushion down towards your feet as far as you can. Doesn't matter if you're only getting to there, just as far as you can. But on your way back up, I want you just to feel that you're zipping up your spine, one at a time. So to go down, you're curling your head round. So if you're watching, you think you curl your head round and curl down, curl round as you go down towards your feet. And then just stack up, stack, zip up, zip up, zip up those spines, zip up those spines, and the last to come up is your head and shoulders. So it's curl round, curl the back round. I'm just going to do this once more. So you're down as far as you can, zip up the back. Feel that you're mobilising that back. Zip up, zip up, zip up. And let go. Another nice one to do with the ball is just to let your back come back into the chair and then push away forwards. So again, thinking more this time about this part of your back here. It's sucking up and it lets go. So it kind of reforms itself up into a good position and it can let go. We'll do that just one more, so it's flexible. Flexibility is what we're looking for. And let go. And if you've got a sore back, that is a really nice exercise to do. Just getting that little movement in your low back. Just this time, I want you to forwards, and you've got a hold of the ball or the cushion in this case. And as you breathe out, you're just going to take the cushion round and just look into the cushion. And back to the middle. And let go. So we're going to come to the same side. So it's forwards and up. Turning to look at that cushion. Keeping your height, keeping that length in your spine. And the next one, if you feel like it, not only are you taking your head to the spine, to the cushion, you take a breath in and you just blow out and turn your head that extra wee bit round. Breathe in to look at the cushion, back. Okay? We'll go to the other side. I'll make sure it means my head will be not looking at you guys. So it's forwards, turning the head round, with line with the cushion, back and let go. So it's tall, round, let the head go a wee bit further round this time. If you can, if your head and neck will allow, but it's quite a nice one that for doing, because when you're having to get your seatbelt on, there's a position that you have to get into. So, our half hour is just about up. So it's always quite nice just to get back into the chair and just shut it, if you're comfortable with your eyes shut, just shutting your eyes for that wee minute and your hands on your tummy. And just feel you're getting good deep breaths down into your tummy. Just feel your tummy rise as you take that breath in. And your tummy down. And this is a time just to reflect on what's gone well in the class. And what you think you might want to work on a wee bit more the next time you come back. And we'll go forward. We would do a wee bit of relaxation. So I know Stuart has put some mindfulness videos on. So link the mindfulness videos with what you've seen today. And then you've got really a really quite good workout. The blowing out when you're doing the hard bit of the exercise, as I said, it's very beneficial for people that have sort of breathing problems or tend not to coordinate their breath with exercise and maybe find themselves a bit breathless and are frightened to exercise because they're breathless. So by learning to breathe with the exercise allows you to do a whole lot more. And then the fitter and stronger you are, the less oxygen is demanded and the less breathless you become. Anyway, we're just about at the tail end of our exercise class today. So I want you to finish off with stretching up through your arm, right from your waist to the tip of your fingers. And let go. And the other one, stretching up just to the tip of your fingers. And let go. Taking the hands round behind your chest, opening out your chest, and you would just hold this for about 8 seconds. And you would never ever do these stretches at the beginning of the class, always after you've warmed up. You're going to put your foot out, pull the toes towards you. Always do your stretches after you're well warmed up. Never do them on cold muscles. And if you're somebody who at the end of the day feels they can hardly put one foot in front of the other, you're just absolutely exhausted, then actually these exercises are for you. Because the stronger you are, the fitter you are, the stepping to the side, getting out of breath, the more energy you have, the less effort it takes to do just daily activities like getting up to stand or make yourself a cup of tea, because you're stronger and more able to do it, means at the end of the day you'll actually be less tired. So I hope you enjoyed that half hour. Just a wee gentle, just loosen off, or because I've been doing too much leathering. But I hope you enjoyed the exercises. I'm sorry that I couldn't demonstrate them actually at my kitchen sink, because I do call these standing ones my kitchen sink exercises, but hey ho. And I look forward to seeing as many of you back to our classes as possible when we're allowed back. So stay safe, stay well, and I'll see as many of you as possible in the near future. Thanks very much.